Dude, if you're my friend and you have a hot sister, I'll never notice that she's hot. Because I don't let my eyes track. You know how people let their eyes track? I don't if you got a hot family member or a wife or something like that, I don't let my eyes track on friends. No, I didn't even let my eyes track on baby Nez's sister. It's because the chat kept making fun of that. No, I didn't stare at her. I was like this. I was like barely avoiding it. Okay, that's different. They wanted me to look. They were showing her off. I'm not gonna lie. Nez got the most beautiful sister on earth. I was supposed to stream with them like 10 times and I kept missing out. But yeah, for a girl without makeup, she's very good looking. They're all great looking. These are like great people, bro. They got a nice family going there. Who's Sam? What? I don't even get who these chatters are that say call this person, and I don't even know who the fuck Sam is. Like every time I go live, someone will be like, "Yo, call Los Polos." I was like, "Thoughts on Convoy's sister?" Dude, Convoy's sister is not Let's go, pal. I'm making a withdrawal supposed to be seen as a
Adolf
symbol.
underscore Floyd donated $5. Why was 6 afraid of 7? Because 7 was black.
That's not even comedy. I'm the funny guy. You're not even funny. That's the dumbest joke ever, bro. Okay, I just got a really weird DM with a friend of mine nude. And he's the guy in the DM is saying, if you didn't hit that, you are not him. I did hit that, and that's my friend, and I chose to forget I hit that because you're not supposed to smash friends. Let's go, pal. I'm making a withdrawal here. What the fuck?
All right, everybody, hands up, heads down.
Zhtolden Word donated $10. Can you explain chaos magic?
Chaos magic is pretty much playing with your subconscious to make your to implement your will onto reality, and it's called chaos because it usually, well, it's from the chaos magic movement that turned into kind of like that Crowley thing, but basically it's called chaos because everyone's doing stuff to get something for themselves, so it gets very chaotic, and the world gets destroyed if everyone knows how to do this. But the start of it was mostly sigils, like McDonald's. The M in McDonald's is a sigil. It's a hypercharged sigil, and the more attention you bring to symbols, the more power they get. That's why they do them in arenas and Super Bowls and stuff like that. And pretty much why everyone wants to be an influencer is because the more attention you can get on something, the more you can charge it with that kind of
Let's go, pal. I'm making a withdrawal here.
I'm that okay. I think I say the word too much. It lost power. I used to be more powerful when I said it. In yogi practices, the throat chakra, you're not supposed to actually speak a lot, so your words have more power. So they unravel it. And I say I spam too hard. Like it's losing power on my tongue. Actually, I say so much that a lot of people don't realize I'm saying it. They go, wait, did you just say that? So I'm kind of like, it's lost its power. Plus, when I say it has no power because like you can't sense racism. Like there's no racism in my voice, so it's not that powerful of a word. But behind someone who has intent of hatred, that word is like that teacher who said, "Could you lend a pencil?" He isn't really racist, so it was just funny. Kanye's apology to the chosen people. Well, let's just say my team stopped talking to him. No, I think Kanye is I think the stress is getting to him around this time of the year, and could be that they're taking his kids away from him. That's why he did that, or that it's a fake letter. But I'm not on the inside. I just get my email of what to do, and I say yes to the CIA, and I do it. I don't actually talk to them. Well, I'm a chaos agent, so I'm allowed to do anything, right? They never say stop, Zherka, because I get to be myself, and if people support me, then the CIA supports me. If people don't, then the CIA says, "This, you're not doing it, bro. You got to win over the youth." So we're doing things my way.
Let's go, pal. I'm making a withdrawal here.
WaterXZ donated $5. Will you dive deep into the Maximus family in your documentary?
No. Thoughts on Eminem? Well, first of all, it's Slim Shady that's the great rapper, not Eminem. It depends where you put Rap God and all that new stuff, but look, I'm gonna just say it like this, dude. You guys aren't gonna like what I say, but I gotta tell the truth. Dr. Umar guy, he's correct. He's right. If rap, and you could say, oh, well, it's English language, it's a white, no, it's an international language, really. But you could say whatever you want about it. But, by the way, English language is the simplified version, mastery of spellcasting. But the original languages actually had the vibrations bent reality when they would say El, like Elohim or Mikael or Raphael or whatever. When humans used to speak, it used to sonically change reality. And now the coded language, A is 1, B is 2, it's gotten weakened, right? And they did that on purpose, right? Like they do certain things to keep us always in a weakened state. Like I don't ever say good morning because I'm not mourning anyone's death. That's a spellcasting. That's in how you say, that's like the image of what you're saying, you're not noticing is in your subconscious and it pings. Bing bong bing. And the subconscious isn't just when you're sleeping, guys. It's like the elephant that you appease with a peanut throughout the day. It's got a mind of its own, and it is linked to God. But usually if you explore the depths, you find the devil, because it's just so much easier to find the devil in the world, because it's so much easier to be in a fearful mind state than it is to be in it's love and fear. These are the only two mindsets. And love is courage. It's the synonym for courage. Courage is synonym for faith, faith in God. So it's just, faith in God or fear. And it's so much easier to be in your lower vibration. So it's so much easier to just, you submit throughout the day. Like even if you get everything done and you're a millionaire and you're killing it in life, you're still submitting to the spellcasting. That's why you're a nihilist. That's why you need God. And when you have God, you still need God. When you have God, you struggle with faith, right? You have bad days, good days. So it's like the whole system is designed to keep you down. But when you think of zillions of dollars designed to keep you down, depressed, and low vibration, when you think of how much power and money it takes to keep a soul down, you start to ask yourself, how strong is that soul? That like we're at the lowest point in history where women close the gap on cheating with men, even though they're like 20 times less horny or some shit. If you think about it, wow, the human soul is so powerful that you need zillions of dollars to just, and it still fights. The soul still fights for Christ. It still fights for, You don't believe in reincarnation? No. Well, here's the thing. I believe in, and you can pull from a collective unconscious, not what Carl Jung said, where I don't believe what he said, his hypothesis of the collective unconscious was all people. I don't believe that. I think it's ancestral. So you can pull from your ancestors. And that's why racism and tribalism is huge because, you know, you're linked to that ancestral traumatic bloodline. That's the suffering bloodline. All your ancestors suffered with the same. And I do believe that your ancestors suffered with the same things you suffered. So if you had a big problem with whole like me and you hate society, I believe even when it was more clean, my ancestors had my temperament. The TTS doesn't work if you guys cuss. Yeah, so I agree with Dr. Umar that I don't think Eminem should be given greatest of all time because it's a black thing. And if I was a black guy and I saw Eminem be given it, I'd be like, okay, but did anyone match Eminem's skill set? Sure they did. Jay-Z did. Kanye did. Nas did. You could say Pac. I'm not really a Pac guy. Yeah, people have matched his skill set. It's just that Eminem was the most violent. So he's so easy to be remembered because the guy was the highest level dark magic. Like, when you think of black magic, Eminem's talking about his mother. He's easily the most memorable because he's the darkest. He's the most evil. Like, a lot of you guys don't realize that when I listen to music, I still find them cringe when I unplug the headphones. I don't absorb Eminem the way you guys do. It's still a Satanist, right? Like, most of Slim Shady's work was pretty But then people say, Zherka, you talk about like rape and murder, so you're like the Eminem of streaming. And yeah, I should tone that down, actually. I'm starting to sound evil. And I'm the good guy. But yeah, is Slim Shady the greatest of all time? Yeah, he's like in top 3. But it would be cringe. I love DMX. Yeah. And he came around to got it then. Yeah, if I was a black guy, I would never give it to Eminem. Like, why would you do that? That's ridiculous. Right? I love when black guys are tribal for black people. I love when white people are tribal for white people. I love when Chinese are tribal for... Right? I still see them as, like, they need Christ, the Chinese. But, yeah, I don't know. Personally, I've listened to more Kanye than Eminem. And I actually think Lil Wayne is better than Slim Shady for music, not for talent.
Labad29 donated $5. Wouldn't by that logic it's like saying basketball and football awards should be given to white people because they invented the sport?
No. It would only be like that if they were on equal terms. Like, who's equal to Kobe? It's very few people. But in rap, they're kind of equal. Like, Lil Wayne is better than Eminem, but Eminem is a better lyricist. But is he? Because Eminem... How the would you compare Lil Wayne to Eminem? Like, I love... Like, if you put a in my head and said you could pick one, I would be stuck. I'd be like, I listen to both. What the
Ubsen donated $5. How to stop putting women on a pedestal.
Usually if you upgrade your life and make yourself a champion, they look more inferior. But I've been told that I'm wrong about this because a lot of successful men still pedestal the women. I would say this is going to sound really sellout. Just only listen to Zherka. Watch Zherka content and that's it. Everyone who watches Zherka content, for some reason, women are off a pedestal. My audience do not do that pedestal shit as much as other people. But I don't want to say that answer because you should watch other people too. I've noticed if you just watch me, you become a little angry.
Malcolm X Ultra donated $11. Was Malcolm X the only leader with intellectual influence that JQ'd?
No. I know JFK JQ'd a little bit. Man, there's so much buried stuff. I had to go in my buried notes. I have so much declassified CIA shit. I think Nixon got checked quick. But Malcolm X, the way he JQ'd was so intelligent too. It wasn't like up in your face. It was the Negro male is being systematically shut down by the Jewish leader. And I'm surprised they even took him out like that. But yeah, Eminem, Lil Wayne, Nas, they're all kind of on the same level for me. I don't see Eminem as that much better than Wayne. Well, it depends what songs. Like, Lil Wayne has so many shitty songs that you forget he's good. And then Eminem has like good. And then when he goes from Slim Shady to Eminem, he starts becoming a little not afraid and stuff that I don't really enjoy. Jack Doherty says he needs you to revive his career. Oh, that'll happen when I live out there. I'll help him out. I still like making content with queers. I think it's funny. And some of the greatest memes came from his house, like when I opened the Discord. So he's not... I like that Doherty bought his girls Rolexes with the money that he made off of them. His Suge Knight. You've done 20-hour streams without eating. Yeah, dude, ever since I was 16, if I'm working or enjoying myself, I forget to eat. Is anyone else like that? Like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I've always been like that. I used to always eat at 8 p.m. when I'm done school, after sports. And, yeah. And I'm those kind of guys that if, like, you put anything in my stomach, I get like sleepy, so I have to avoid that.
The Sincere Light donated $5. That dirty J. Dean said he helped with my music, ghosted me for 6 months then blocked me. What do I do, Zherka? I am not a big YouTuber or someone of influence.
Honestly, relying on people is cringe, bro. Like, do it yourself, man. Do you know how many SoundCloud artists did it by themselves? It's like really cringy to rely on one person to save your life, bro. I think that's really stupid. In grade 12, I was 6'2", I think. Because in one summer, I had a growth spurt. Grade 11, I had a growth spurt. And I still remember how my growth spurt went. I don't know if anyone else had a growth spurt like me, but I spent all summer stretching and in pain. And my back was always buzzing in pain. And my back ripped into like giant claw marks of stretch marks. And my mom's like, my baby. And she like took me to the hospital and I'm like, Ma, just chill, bro. I'm getting taller. And she's like, no, you're not. You're like 5'10". And then in 2 months, I was like 6'2" or some shit. And yeah, it just happened over very quickly. I think it was like 5'8" to 6'2" in the 2 months. Just gushed in growth hormone. Puberty, right? My puberty came late. Yeah, the growth spurt was natural, yeah. But I was like a toothpick. I was like skinny, like XUC. I posted my pictures. Yeah, I've always been like super skinny guy and stuff like that. And then I did roids, and then I didn't do roids. I did so much that I'm pretty much like fried my body. I totally fried it, changed myself, and grew back hairs and face hairs, and now I can put on weight. And I'm glad that happened, you know, because now I'm like, someone like me who runs their mouth should have a reinforced neck so I can't be knocked out. I can be punched, but I can't be killed. Because imagine if I was still running I used to run my mouth as an ectomorphic 180 pounder. Right? And no, I didn't really lose hair until I was like 28 or 27. Very late. Like all my buddies went bald at 21 years old. Because roids make you bald, but my hair was like, yeah, I'm surprised it hung in there. Feet don't fail me now.
Let's go, pal. I'm making
Now I'm a fat ass. Yeah.
Redrader donated $5. May 14th, 1996. Natal P. Born in a rat year. Will my 2024 be bussin'?
Let's go.
It's not here or there.
Anti-Semite donated $5. What's stopping you from hopping back on gear to get your old body, stamina and aggression back? Even just enhance TRT. Wouldn't you be on TRT anyway after that massive cycle? You would have been shut down for years.
Yeah, I just don't like being on. I don't like my organs being stressed. I don't like being oily. I don't like the risk of hair loss, although you can block that with finasteride, like Derek said, so I guess that's not a real issue. I just don't like being on. And when I was nightclub bouncing, the best, most violent fights I had where I won, I was not on gear. So I had the size of the gear and stuff, but no, the best I ever did was not on gear, right? The gear helped me in the beginning, as it was like, oh, now someone's punching me in the face and I'm 40 pounds up. I'm a lot more safe 40 pounds up. Yeah, I was on coke. But no, the point is, nah, I don't like being on. Like, I don't like being on gear. I don't know. Plus, having to watch my E2 and estrogen, and oh my God, I hate to look at my blood work and shit. Hell no, I'd rather be natural. Did you heal from ED? Yes and no. My ED comes from narcissism. Like, I took a lot of tests and I found out a lot of it comes from narcissism. So a lot of times I'll be like, the girl doesn't deserve me, so I lose thickness. That's why it's so easy when I have a girlfriend, because I can maintain it. But with strangers, I go, oh, get away! I don't want to get this one pregnant. They're trying to take my genetics, and I don't know. I took a test and it turned out I'm psychologically not for hookups. Yeah, that's why it was a lot easier when I had that batshit crazy girl, because it wasn't a stranger. It was like I knew her for a year and shit. Yeah, and yeah, Tapia says it best, bro. I know, Tapia, you got that quote from me, but I have always found a girlfriend, fiance, or wife to be way more attractive of a title than a hookup. A hookup is hard to the average man, but to me it's easy. So it's not like, oh, like I could go to the bar right now and do it. If something's easy, it's not that appealing. I've always found a partner to be hotter. I don't know why. Every time I have a partner, I'm like this. The whole relationship, I'm like 2 times a week, which is a lot for me. Which all my friends say that's not a lot at all. All my friends say, dude, your partner is gonna hate you. They don't hate me, they just cry. And it's, yeah, I don't know why I say partner. Yeah, I don't know why I say, I'm trying to say duos. I get attracted for duos, right? Like,
Let's go, pal. I'm making a withdrawal here.
Julian0379 donated $5. Hey Zherka, when do you think you'll be doing collabs again? Like Fresh and Fit and Earl streams with Jack Doherty? Love the content. Christ is King.
probably when you guys clear me. When you guys say, okay, now you're sparring correct. Now you can go spar in Miami. You don't have to be here anymore. Because, guys, really, number one thing we got to do is get healthy. Not for money, although there's money involved. I'm not the kind of guy who will ever pick up weights. I don't like weight training unless it's like for a bodybuilding thing. And I want to be healthy. I want to be like my old self, you know? Like I used to be athlete of the year. No, I can't even move this arm higher than this, but the pain's gone. So as soon as I'm ready to go, I have to what was I saying before this? Fuck.
Jesuit Sleeper
Oh, for
Agent
duos,
donated
remind me.
$5. Yon Zherka, please upload your esoteric Twitch VODs on serpent worship and Egyptian rituals to reach Elysium. You revived my faith by showing me the darkest truths about the elite. Christ is King. Also, when is
what? Type it in chat, I'll read it. Because I have a browser source, so I can't see it.
Dirt donated $10. Honestly, did you try and hook up with Jenna from The Witch?
I don't know who that is. No, I'm not pandering to Twitter. Check this out. I'll do that shit, but check this out.
Armando donated $5. Bro, I was born on the 17th of November, so I was born on the 8th. I made a ton of money the last months and now it's slowing down. What do you suggest me doing? I pray every day. I feel like I gotta give back to the church or...
What do you do? Well, I don't even get the question. You gotta give back to the church. Why do you let HS act like you won the fight when it's a street fight and you... Yeah, well, because if you are not honest with yourself and you're happy with bad wins, you're a loser. That's why I should let him think that. Plus, it builds his confidence so he actually fights again. We gotta build his confidence. We gotta say, you won, bro. You're totally killing Zherka.
Edgar123123 donated $5.
This is so
It's
long.
true that the plurality of Genesis 1:26 is because the Anunnaki wrote that? In Hebrew it says, let us make man in our image after our likeness, with the word Elohim, which means the powerful ones.
Okay, I don't even get the question there. The whole point of what I'm trying to say is, if you are not excited to spend your life with one woman, what are you going to say to God? Like, what do you think? What are you going to say to him? Isn't it kind of... Is this a Hollywood take that I have? Or is it like for thousands of years we did it correct, my name? Like, a lot of like my final takes in life is me talking to God and being like, imagine if I said, hey God, I entertained every I met at Jack Doherty's house and I did this to them and what the fuck? It seems like every time I think of that conversation, God is going to be like, why weren't you married by that time? Why weren't you married earlier?
Ubsen donated $5. How do you educate yourself about politics, red pill, blue pill, left and right, and religion and history for someone that's new?
Yeah, politics, I think you should look at it globally. So pick 4 to 5 countries, follow the news of those countries, see what aligns, see what connects, and have a worldwide geopolitical stance, right? So if you're right wing only in the US but not right wing somewhere else, then you're probably not it.
Noah donated $5. What was the catalyst that made you transform from that shy kid ringing the bell in Japan to a cracked out jacked confident bouncer? I'm 18 and similar to how you were.
Yeah, getting in the face when it keeps happening in the workplace and you don't die, you realize you're not made out of glass. You're like, oh, wow. You know, when you realize humans are not that brittle, you become a lot more confident. So I think, you know, why do I always talk about being a bouncer is because I have no other identity to me. People say I read books and this. I don't give a about that. The world experience is first, and the books I read is second. The books wouldn't have even made sense if I didn't feel evil on my chin. You know, if I didn't feel evil choking me out and shit, I don't think I would have even read those books. But I had a serious identity crisis when I became an influencer. And it went away for a long time, and now it came back, realizing, like, I'm so out of it. I'm so not who I am. I'm glad I read books, but I can just see me fix. I can see myself become healthy and continue to read. And I'm not going to lie, guys. A lot of you guys are like, what books are you on now? Dude, when you start with this journey of, let's say, gnosis and reading, it's the same books, but it takes a million times to understand them. Like the red book for Jungian psychology. That's not even psychology. That's mysticism.
Fiddler donated $5. Yo Zherka, when will you train and put that bird who fell off to 800 viewers in his place? And you should collab with Daquan Wiltshire, the comedic duo would be great, he said he like you. Organic collab would be good too.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put dates on anything because that, you know how I should heal first, right?
Serpent Apple donated $5. How about you talk about Genesis and the forbidden fruit of knowledge? The serpent told Adam and Eve they could be like God, which satanic Andrew Tate is doing now, which is why he has a serpent tattoo.
Yeah, I mean, this is gonna kind of like piss a lot of people off, but that raging dragon or the serpent or any snake symbolism in these books, it's not. Yeah, you can take it in a literal sense, but it is talking about the raging serpent with wings. It's talking about your penis every single time. That's the tempter. That root chakra energy is what tempts you. That's what's making you a loser or a millionaire. But that's what a dragon is throughout all of mythology.
Let's go, pal. I'm making a withdrawal here.
MK donated $5. John, could you react to the David Icke interview with Arizona Wilder? She is an ex-MK Ultra slave who was used by the British royal family to help perform high-level satanic rituals. Icke's lizard theory was based of this interview.
Let's go, pal. I'm making a withdrawal here.
Jeff donated $5. What books do you recommend I read first?
I think you should read the Bible, and then you can read anything and reverse engineer it.
Let's go, pal. I'm making a withdrawal here.
JD donated $5. I found my faith in Christ again. But I always have that little voice in the back of my head that says man is just afraid of their mortality and we're all just playing pretend at the end of the day. How do you get past this?
Well, it's simple, really. It's like, for thousands of years, did everyone get it wrong? The best way to see this is evolution's the opposite. In the Egyptian times, we had clairvoyant vision. We could see each other's auras. We could cyclically connect. We had just a couple of vowels, not full-on languages. We had different systems of communication, different supernatural powers. When you start going more supernatural as you go to the timeline, the start of history, now Christ becomes a fact. But if you go from materialist perspective to Christ, then it kind of seems like hocus pocus. But there's many people doing magical things back then. Christ was the only one who did the stuff no one could do, like resurrect.
Kishin 2K donated $5. Can you recommend Jung books?
For Jungian psychology, I think interpretation of dreams, you want to look at that work. Symbolism, Alchemy is one of my favorite books of his. And The Red Book, which probably is going to take you 500 times of reading, because that's not psychology, that's mysticism. That's why he published this so late. He didn't want to be kicked out of the scientific community. But The Red Book is like, oh my God, dude. That is a life-changing book. And it comes from the runes of the symbolism of the five black books or whatever. For me, my only authors, after I finished the Bible, which you don't, let's be honest, you got to keep doing the Bible again and again for like 10 years.
Jesus is King donated $5. I want to start to read the Bible but am a bit confused. Should I read Old or New Testament? And Hebrew or Greek? Can you pull up the book for me?
Well,
Love.
Do you speak Hebrew or Greek? And you should start with New Testament.
Edgar123123 donated $10. Who you got for the folk versus Toporia? You should watch his highlights.
Start with the New Testament, always. And make it your first love. Because you're never going to master the Bible. Start with the New Testament, stick till you understand it fully. But here, my only authors in life, Rudolf Steiner, Carl Jung. I have a book list I post on my Twitter. You can go see that. But yeah, that's it. And Manny P. Hall. I love Manny.
Christy Scheme donated $5. It's so stupid that Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung had a falling out.
No, it's not stupid. Freud could not keep up with Jung. That's the truth. He got intellectually outpaced. So Freud is like... I mean, Sigmund Freud only helped me with women, really. That's it. There's ego, super ego. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Jung is so much... You could skip Freud, bro. Yeah, you could say prototype, but like, they don't go to the same place, right? And Jung always brings the Bible into his work. Even if he's bashing it or is talking good about it, it feels like you're getting the whole scope of history in that kind of psychological work instead of, I don't know, Freud feels so rigid.
Every time I talk about flat earth to my brother, he always go to study a NASA project paper with math. that all this math wouldn't work if the planet was flat. What would you say?
That's stupid because Einstein and every intellectual said the mathematics for every geocentric position also work on a globe. They're interchangeable. I could give you a whole documentary on that. That is the dumbest. Kill yourself and get out of my chat for saying that. That is the most debunked shit I've ever heard. Yeah, the original MacBook was $666.66. Yeah, they do that shit on purpose, bro. They don't need money. They don't need money. They print money. Okay, it's very stupid when people think that everything's like Andrew Tate's capitalist position. The elites just babies for money. They just money. They print money. They babies to live longer. They want to drink their life force. It's fucking hard. What was I saying? Yeah, I think here the Bible and Carl Jung, and there you have Zherka's mindset. There, these because it'll take you 10 years to finish this to get to where I'm at. Like, I just recommend these two, because then you have like the light and the dark, and then Jung actually becomes more open to God at the end. But Manny P. Hall's a good start for understanding etheric bodies and astral bodies and lower astral, medium astral, upper astral world, which are all above the etheric world. And then you have the mental plane, which is like mind forms of God, or perfect geometric shapes of God, thought patterns of God. And then you have the Godhead, which, by the way, when I'm talking about psychology, it's not just what we study. It's also psychic phenomenology, meaning stuff you can't explain, but you can record and find, you can see patterns through it, right? And I also studied a lot about clairvoyant vision and certain foods or fasting methods to do to see people's auras, believe it or not. And that takes way too long, but that's also stuff I read right now.
Let's go, pal. I'm making a withdrawal here.
Condude246 donated $5. When are you getting baptized? Christmas is over, mate. To get baptized Catholic as an adult you have to do Rika.
No, I'm already baptized. I posted you guys on Twitter, right? And I'm not gonna lie, guys, I still believe faith in God is first, works is second. Because there's this whole argument that I'm not gonna get into it. Whatever. Yeah, but I made sure it was on the 23rd. Master race lost. What? Is the Germans the master race? Yeah, I only read German authors, by the way. Is Heel Mike your best friend in the streamer community? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Heel Mike and Sneaker are the only people who mention my name in rooms filled with stars. Like, they randomly just throw opportunities my way. And they done that even when I was like, dude, Sneeko helped me out when I was like at 200 viewers. Like, the guy is solid as fuck. That's why I hate when you guys say, Sneeko, keep helping Zherka. And it's like, hasn't that guy done enough? Yeah, and Mike will do anything for me. The guy is fucking awesome. Like, Mike, I met all of Mike's family. And they just had dinner recently and they're talking about me and I'm not the weird guy. Like, I'm seen as family to them. Yeah, I love Mike to death.
Thereski donated $5. I'm soon 18 and need my first girlfriend to keep me away from degeneracy. I'm being held back only by the first week, where I don't know what to talk about and I fear escalation. It gets awkward for me. After that stage my game is a...
What do you mean? But make it shorter, bro.
Alchemist donated $5. What do you think about ancient civilizations like Atlantis and Lemuria that came before the Bible? How did they become advanced without faith?
Clearly, like, guys, this is going to sound crazy, but there's stuff in the Bible that we don't have that the Vatican hid from us. I think we all agree with that. Clearly, there were spiritual systems before the intermediary of Christ came. Or you could say that Atlantis stuff came after and the timeline of history is warped. But everything you see in movies, TV, Avatar, the Blue Movie and stuff, all that random fantasy world is not abstract. The world used to be very mystical and stuff. Like Plato talks about Atlantis, and Rudolf Steiner talks about Atlantean beings. They breathed the water vapor in the air or some shit. They didn't have lungs. Very different. Or yeah, he even talks about the germination of cells being created in Saturn, and basically it's like a cosmic clock, that how we see the sun up here, Saturn used to rule overhead. And now that Saturn is the furthest away from grace, life, pro-life energy, which is the solar energy of the sun, in this material world, right? It wouldn't just be Christ. It would be Christ is everything that's good, right? The prime goodness, or what does Jung call it? I forget what he calls it in Latin. But yeah, Saturn would be the coldest planet away from the sun, meaning all satanic forces come from that. And that's why the people who do these Hillary Clinton rituals are Saturnians. A lot of people, like Jews, are Saturnians.
Anti-Semite donated $5. What do you think about Tucker Carlson saying Terry's things about UAP so dark he won't even tell his wife? He said the government is complicit in Terry's spirituality aspect. He said people couldn't deal with it and it could lead to mass.
Yeah. Tucker Carlson knows who's at the
Yoni
top.
Boy Zherka donated $5. When is the documentary coming out? Cap has...
It's your guys' fault. You guys forced every collab, Nelk, everything. You did me so many favors, but you guys will not spam Neon Sniper Panda for my PC. They keep saying they'll send it, but they won't do it.
Tony donated $5. Do you think when Jung started listening to his internal spiritual gurus they were demonic in nature? Can you break down Ryan's experiments with synchronicity? Is it a good starting place for parapsychology?
I do think that he dealt with dark forces
Water
early in his
donated
career.
$5.
Because his mom said
My
it.
grandpa was a Freemason and at his funeral it was very weird. Can you explain?
It doesn't matter. Unless it's like a very, very wealthy Freemason, they're usually just old men, bro.
Edgar123123 donated $10. What you recommend if my blood sister adoptive parents are liberal gays, and now that I'm a Christian for the past 4 months every time I see them I get very uncomfortable. I want to see her but not them. How would you approach?
Well, no, you're not supposed to let it affect your relationships. Dude, being a Christian just means you have to go kill it in your career, make Ferrari level money, so everyone in your family go, he's the only Christian, and it's working for him. I think I'm going to try what he's doing. That's how you do it. You lead by example. You lead, right? Like being Christian isn't being a preachy at the table. You're never going to convince these people. You have to be a rock star like me. Like nobody you think in the Thanksgiving table anyone sits down with me and they know my paycheck, they know my business, they know how much data IQ brings, they know all this. You think they sit and try and convince me to join their faith? No.
Russellville6N donated $5. I'm going to buy my first Bible. Which version do you recommend?
Amplified version. Now you could do King James, you could do the Catholic one. Look, I don't really give a fuck because I hold on.
Jesus_is_God donated $5. Nothing on Twitter about your baptism. Lying is a sin. Repent and show us your baptism certificate.
Yeah, sure, I will. Just hang on a sec. It doesn't matter. You know why I say it doesn't matter if it's King James or this version of the Bible? None of you actually finish it. None of you. Right? Like how many of you pick up the Bible and read once?
Let's go, pal. I'm making a withdrawal here.
Julian0379 donated $5. Weak forearms compared to rest of build. Do you have any tips/exercises for that?
Oh, I thought you were saying me. Forearms are like calf muscles. They're genetic. But you could be that idiot in the gym doing these curls. Now just get stronger and your body will even out the more you build your whole base. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I started with the King James version, and lately, I mean, these last few weeks, I've been doing the Amplified online, and I have a couple of Bibles I bought that are coming in. Uh, but yeah, they're not too different. Well, the translations will be like, this is the difference in them. Let's see if I remember. I will be with you always, even unto the end of the world, or I will be with you always, even to the end of the age. And then there's I will be with you always until the end of time. So the translations aren't that different, like how people say it's stupid different. It's not that different, right? It's not a big deal for me. Now, if you're like debating and stuff, now you got to pick a Bible for real. But I actually recommend whichever one's easiest for you, because you're gonna quit. Yeah, Jenny, you sent me yours is like a pink Bible, and I'm like, what the fuck was that? But yeah, whatever's easiest for you.
I'm making a withdrawal here.
Regan Ford donated $5. John, what's your take? Black Americans not being from Africa? No evidence of slave boats. Also, Whitsett Gitsit is the best flat earther.
I like Whitsett a lot, and I don't really care about race. Like
Adolf donated $5. My friend's dad was once one of the richest men in Bolivia and was a Freemason, but he lost everything, went insane. Now he asks his son for money, tells him he's doing white magic for him, but when asked about a cult he goes silent. What do you think?
Let's go.
Maybe he knows some shit. Why is he going silent?
Ra donated $5. Zherka,
Change
what
your
will
name.
happen when people find out McKinley, Michelle, and Grace are all inverted transsexuals? Oops, did I leak something?
Let's go, pal. I'm making a withdrawal here.
Shkapi donated $5. Did you enjoy rack pulls over deads back in your days?
I always did rack pulls over deads because I have like a paranoia about pulling something. Deadlifts are dangerous, bro. Let's be honest. I've seen too much shit.
Anti-Semite donated $5. Are you aware there's dozens of books removed from the Bible, especially the secret book of John, that stated Jesus returned in a non-human form and gave him secret knowledge? Have you read any of these?
I know this one, and there's a lot of early Christian Gnostics who talk about Jesus just being a psychic phenomenon and not real, or like a phantom. I don't really buy into that. Sorry, right? I think we have the meat and potatoes truth of Christ, and then we're missing a lot of details. I think what we're missing most is the magnum, the magic. I think the Bible. I think there's pages in the Bible that talk about humans actively engaging in magic without knowing it, and how to build your own world correctly. And it seems like those pages are taken out, because does anyone else agree what you think you become? Like, it just, the wheels turn, dude. I can't explain to you how. Yeah, I don't think miracles are magic when Christ does it, but I think humans do actively engage in magic. Like what Cristiano Ronaldo's doing when he's kicking a ball is not football. That's not football at all. It wouldn't bring billions of people's attention to it if it was just football. He's not just kicking a ball, right? Like he's clearly spiritually charged. And Ronaldo, they say, is a home.
Then fucking Zherka donated $5. Thoughts on the Apocrypha if you know it? Apocrypha are biblical or related writings not forming part of the accepted canon of Scripture.
Yeah,
while some
I
might
don't
be
fuck
of
with
doubtful authorship or authenticity.
No, I don't fuck with it. I don't fuck with the Book of Enoch. I don't
Proverbs donated $5. Which mental framework would you advise be successful at achieving goals?
Anything that kills negative thought loops.
Jesus was Italian 69 donated $5. Which Manly P. Hall book to start?
I think probably The Secret Teaching of All Ages is a good start. Yeah, and as soon as you're done Manly P. Hall, you can switch to Rudolf Steiner, and then that'll take you a while. Or you could just skip them and stay on Jung. That's how I did it, and then I went to them. And then my first ever teacher was Albert Pike. Like the first time I ever was a scholar taking notes. I was in Colombia. I was very depressed and very alone, and I didn't go out. I didn't pick up chicks. I just finished the whole book.
Regan Ford donated $5. Is Jesus God? Is he one with the Father?
Yeah, Jesus is the Son of God, the Word of God, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And Jesus is also the Son of Man. Jesus is infinite. And Jesus, through our perspective, comes in a limited form, but there's nothing limited about Christ. Yeah, Jesus is God. That's why everyone on earth stops talking if you mention Jesus. That's why everyone gets weird. They get, oh, well, actually, he's our prophet. We respect him. That's why everyone is afraid. Even black magicians, they have to like build up courage to do one ritual against God. Like they have to like, it takes them a while, and then they go give to charity. Like these Hillary Clinton types, they'll give to charity because they are afraid they are pissed off God. But yeah, like, dude, Jesus is the G of the world. You know, like there's one name on earth that has all the clout, all the power, all the attention, and it's the name with the most humility, because Jesus is just a slave who gets beaten and fucked up and killed. So if you think about it, the weakest example of a man is Christ, yet it is the most powerful man that has ever walked the face of the earth. How can you have both if you're not God? Like how? That's impossible. You have no idea that you can't make a superhero that weak but that infinite. It's impossible to do. You can't. That's impossible to do. Like that's insanity. To get someone like Zherka to be Jesus gang, Zherka doesn't want to follow a dude who gets whipped and fucked up and humiliated. But I submit because I'm like, holy shit, who else am I going to follow? Everyone else fell short. Everyone else failed. The only person who has brought God to every corner of the earth was that man, and that man is not a man. Well, he's a fully man, but he's fully God. And it just feels like blasphemy to call him a man. And that's the Christianity that I teach. I don't teach that Christianity where they try and strip divinity and focus on his weakness. We don't focus on Jesus' death as much as we focus on the resurrection, baby. That's how you teach the Bible. We focus on the resurrection. We resurrect our mindsets. Because Jesus is also an archetype that you put into your psyche. You stitch it against your psyche. Jesus is not just, like when people say Jesus is just the Son and then the 12 disciples are the constellations. Yeah, sure, that too. I'm not those guys who run from that. I'm not a Christian mystic where it's like, oh, I believe. Yeah, he's all of that. He's all of that. He's every single thing that falls into the archetype of the winner. I don't care. I'm not a pussy who says like, well, the 12 disciples align with the zodiac, therefore it's not real. It's based on the zodiac. No, it's remade on Earth. Does that make sense? Or like when people say Christianity is just a psychological spiritual teaching, a psycho-spiritual teaching where Jesus, the main character, is your best form. Sure, okay, I'll take that too. And he's God. I'll take every single thing they say about Christ plus a literal story, right? So I don't know why people say it's either a literal story or allegory. You know, why not both? It's God. He can do it all. And a lot of Christians would hate that. They'd be like, that's a little much. But I'm like, dude, it's God. He would make a story that aligns with the zodiac constellations, allegory, poetry, veiled in secrecy, but actually given to us through symbolism. He would do all of that.
All right, everybody, hands up, heads down.
Zane donated $10.88. John, I'm 19. I always have been based and I jaywalk myself through research when I was 12. My friend tells me that I'm an 11 life path born on the 7th and with 5 energy. How do these numbers?
Let's go.
Okay, 11. Hold on, I'll answer
Jill
you.
donated $5.
Oh my God.
John, put me back in the basement, please. I don't like trying to make you jealous with basketball people. At least you for a reason.
Stop! Basketball people, is that how we call them now? Stop. So you're an 11 life path, hyper emotional, which is not actually good. You could be a you have 7 energy, so you're a loner. And you said you have a 5. Is the 5 come before the 7 or the 7 come before the 5? That's a huge difference. In my experience, I don't know how Gary does it. In my experience, the second number is huge. Huge. Okay, wait, don't donate. Let me just grab something for you guys. We'll keep going. You guys want to keep going with this?